Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, guilty, or somehow wrong about something you know was right? Have you ever done something for someone and felt like you had no real choice, even though technically nobody forced you? Have you ever ended a relationship, a friendship, or a job situation, and only weeks or months later realized that something deeply manipulative had been happening the entire time? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you are not weak. You are not stupid. You are not broken. You were simply never taught to recognize the invisible weapons that certain people use against the emotions of others. Dark psychology is not a fantasy concept from a thriller novel. It is a real, documented, and deeply studied field that explores how human beings exploit psychological vulnerabilities, emotional needs, and cognitive biases to control, deceive, and dominate other people. And what makes it dangerous is not that it is rare. What makes it dangerous is that it is everywhere, and it is often invisible. Today I am going to walk you through 9 of the most powerful dark psychology tricks used by manipulators, emotional predators, and toxic people in every walk of life. I am going to show you exactly how each one works, why your brain is vulnerable to it, and most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself from ever being played again. This is not about becoming cold. This is not about becoming paranoid. This is about becoming aware. Because awareness is the only armor that actually works. Trick number 1, manufactured scarcity and urgency. The first trick is one of the oldest in the psychological playbook, and it works on almost everyone because it hijacks one of our deepest instincts, the fear of missing out. Manipulators manufacture urgency. They create artificial deadlines, false scarcity, and a sense that if you do not act right now, you will lose something irreplaceable. This is not just a sales tactic. It happens in relationships, friendships, and workplaces every single day. Think about the partner who says, "If you don't decide whether you want to be with me by tomorrow, I'm done." Think about the friend who says, "I only have one spot left for this opportunity and I'm giving you first dibs, but you have to tell me today." Think about the boss who says, "Other candidates are interviewing right now. If you don't accept this offer by the end of the day, we move on." None of these situations may be real emergencies, but your nervous system doesn't know the difference. When urgency is manufactured, your brain enters a mild state of panic. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking, goes quieter. Your limbic system, the emotional and reactive part, takes over. And in that state, you make decisions that benefit the person who created the urgency, not yourself. The protection against this trick is deceptively simple. Slow down. Refuse the artificial timeline. A genuine opportunity, a genuine offer, a genuine relationship will wait for you to think clearly. Anyone who punishes you for needing time to think is not offering you something. They are taking something from you. Trick number 2. The guilt loop. Guilt is one of the most powerful emotional levers that exists, and skilled manipulators know how to pull it with devastating precision. The guilt loop works like this. A manipulator does something for you, often something you did not ask for, sometimes something you did not even want. Then, when they want something from you in return, they remind you of what they did. They frame your hesitation or refusal as ingratitude. They position themselves as the victim of your selfishness. And suddenly, you are defending yourself for not giving someone what they wanted. The guilt loop is especially effective on kind, empathetic, and conscientious people, which is precisely why those are the people it is most often used on. Good people feel guilt. Manipulators know this and they exploit it. You will recognize the guilt loop by these phrases. After everything I've done for you, I just don't understand how you can treat me this way. I gave up so much for you and this is what I get. I guess I was wrong about the kind of person you are. Notice what all of these statements have in common. They are not actually about the current situation. They are about rewriting the history of the relationship in a way that makes you the villain and the manipulator the martyr. The way to break the guilt loop is to separate what someone has done in the past from what they are asking you to do right now. These are two entirely different transactions. Gratitude does not create obligation. Being helped in the past does not obligate you to be harmed in the present. Trick number 3. But when someone challenges your character, your very self, you are suddenly in a much harder position. You feel the need to prove a negative, to prove that you are not what they say you are. And in trying to prove it, you become easier to control. You start doing what they want, just to demonstrate that you are a good person. This is the trap. The moment you are trying to prove your character to someone, you have already lost the negotiation. The protection here is to recognize that character assassinations, particularly from people who have something to gain from your compliance, are tactics, not truths. You do not have to prove anything to someone who has weaponized your identity against you. You are allowed to say, "That's your opinion," and disengage. Trick number 4. Intermittent reinforcement. This is perhaps the most powerful psychological mechanism in the entire arsenal of dark psychology. And it is responsible for more emotional damage than almost any other technique. Intermittent reinforcement is what happens when reward and punishment are given unpredictably. Instead of consistent love, you get moments of incredible warmth, followed by coldness, distance, or cruelty. Instead of consistent validation, you get random moments of genuine praise, surrounded by criticism and indifference. Here is why this is so dangerous. Neuroscience has shown us that the brain becomes more addicted to a reward that comes unpredictably than to one that comes consistently. This is the same mechanism that makes slot machines more addictive than vending machines. A vending machine gives you what you want every time. A slot machine makes you chase the win. And the chasing is what creates the addiction. People who grow up with emotionally inconsistent parents are already primed for this pattern. But even without that history, a skilled manipulator can create intermittent reinforcement in any relationship. They can make you addicted to their approval. They can make you spend enormous amounts of emotional energy trying to get back to the good moments, trying to figure out what you did wrong, trying to be the version of yourself that they seem to love. The cruel irony is that you will never figure it out, because the inconsistency is the point. The chaos is not a side effect of the relationship. The chaos is the mechanism of control. Recognizing this pattern is the first step. If you are in a relationship, friendship, or professional situation where you feel like you are always trying to get back to some earlier, better version of how things were, and you can never quite get there, intermittent reinforcement is almost certainly at play. Trick number 5. The DARVO method. DARVO stands for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. And it is a technique used almost universally by abusers and manipulators when they are confronted about their behavior. Here is how it works. You approach someone about something they did that hurt you. They immediately deny it happened. When you push back with evidence, they attack you, your credibility, your motives, or your character. And then, in the final move, they flip the script entirely. Suddenly, they are the victim. You are the aggressor. Your attempt to address your pain becomes framed as your assault on them. I never said that. And even if I did, you're taking it out of context. You always do this. You know what I'm the one who should be upset. The way you just talked to me was completely unacceptable. I can't believe you're attacking me like this. If you have ever walked away from a confrontation, feeling like somehow you became the guilty party, DARVO was likely used against you. The way to protect yourself from DARVO is to stay grounded in the specific, documented, concrete reality of what happened. Do not allow the conversation to expand into vague character judgments. Do not get pulled into defending your worth as a person. Stay anchored to the event. I am not here to debate my character. I am here to talk about what happened on Thursday. What do you have to say about that specifically?
Trick number 6, love bombing, followed by withdrawal. Love bombing is the act of overwhelming someone with affection, attention, flattery, and apparent devotion early in a relationship, faster and more intensely than the actual emotional connection warrants. It feels extraordinary. It feels like finally being seen. It feels like the relationship you always wanted. And then it stops.
The withdrawal that follows love bombing is not accidental. It is strategic. Because once you have experienced the high of that level of attention and affection, its removal creates a desperate need to get it back. You will spend months or years trying to return to the feeling of those first weeks. You will overlook behaviors you would never have tolerated in any other context. You will make yourself smaller, more accommodating, more whatever they seem to love about you at the beginning. Love bombing is not love. Love is consistent. Love does not require you to earn it. Love does not evaporate the moment you become a real, complex, occasionally inconvenient human being. The warning sign is disproportionate intensity too early. Genuine love grows at the pace of genuine knowledge. When someone treats you like the most important person in the world, before they actually know you, they are not responding to who you are. They are performing a tactic. Trick number 7. Coercive control through isolation. Most people think of manipulation as something that happens in dramatic moments. A screaming fight, an obvious lie, a visible act of cruelty. But some of the most effective manipulation is quiet, gradual, and nearly imperceptible. Isolation is one of these quiet mechanisms. A manipulator begins to slowly, subtly, create distance between you and the people in your support network. They do not say, "Stop seeing your friends." They say things that plant seeds of doubt. "I just don't trust that friend of yours. I think she's a bad influence. Your family never really supported you the way I do. Every time you come back from spending time with them, you seem different, more negative." Over months or years, you spend less time with friends and family. Not because they forced you to, because they made you doubt those relationships. Made you feel like your outside connections were threats to the relationship you had with them. And now, isolated, you are entirely dependent on their reality. Their version of who you are, what the world is like, and what you deserve becomes the only version you have access to. Protecting yourself from isolation means actively tending to your outside relationships, even when someone in your life seems threatened by them. A person who genuinely loves you will want you to have a rich life, full of people who care for you. A person who wants to control you will want to be your entire world. Trick number 8. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is now a widely known term, but its full mechanism is still misunderstood by most people who experience it. The word comes from a 1940s film in which a husband secretly dims the gas lights in his home and then denies that the lights are changing, making his wife doubt her own perception of reality. And that is exactly what gaslighting does. It is not just lying. It is systematically attacking your ability to trust your own mind. That never happened. You're being too sensitive. You always exaggerate everything. You're imagining things. I don't know why you're so upset. Nothing happened. You need to talk to someone because you clearly have issues with reality. Over time, with enough repetition, gaslighting makes you doubt your memory, your emotional responses, your judgment, and your perceptions. You stop trusting yourself. And someone who does not trust themselves is remarkably easy to control. The protection against gaslighting requires some practical steps. Document things. Write down conversations, events, and your emotional responses to them. Keep records not to use as weapons, but to have an anchor to your own reality. When someone tries to convince you that your experience did not happen, trust your emotional responses. If something felt wrong, that feeling is data.
It may not be perfectly accurate, but it is never nothing. And perhaps most importantly, seek perspectives outside the relationship. Talk to people who knew you before. Talk to therapists. Talk to trusted friends. Gaslighting is most effective in isolation. Sunlight kills it. Trick number 9. Weaponized vulnerability. This is the one that the most empathetic, caring, and compassionate people are most susceptible to, and it is important to name it without shame, because being caring is not a weakness.
It is a virtue. The problem is when someone uses your virtue against you. Weaponized vulnerability is when someone shares pain, trauma, struggle, or emotional need in a strategic way, not to connect with you honestly, but to create a sense of obligation and emotional debt that they can draw on later. Real vulnerability is one of the most beautiful and important aspects of human connection. It is how we know each other. It is how trust is built. But weaponized vulnerability has a different quality. It tends to be deployed at strategic moments, when you are about to leave, when you are setting a boundary, when you have just expressed a need of your own. It tends to be disproportionate in its intensity, and it tends to result, somehow, in you abandoning your own need in favor of theirs. You're the only one who understands me. I don't know what I'd do without you. When said at the moment, you are trying to establish a boundary. This is not vulnerability. This is a hostage situation. I've been through so much. I just need someone who won't abandon me.
When said to prevent you from leaving a situation that is harming you, this is not openness. This is coercion. The distinction between genuine vulnerability and weaponized vulnerability is not always clear in the moment. But here is a reliable question to ask yourself. When this person shares something painful with me, does it bring us closer and create mutual understanding, or does it result in me feeling responsible for their emotional state?
Genuine vulnerability invites connection. Weaponized vulnerability creates captivity. So where does all of this leave us? I want to be clear about something. Learning to recognize dark psychology tactics is not about becoming suspicious of everyone you meet. It is not about approaching relationships with a checklist or treating every difficult moment as evidence of manipulation. Human beings are complicated. We all do things imperfectly. We all have moments of selfishness, moments of poor communication, moments where we hurt people we genuinely love without meaning to. The difference between a flawed human being and a manipulator is pattern and intent. A flawed person, when shown the impact of their behavior, feels genuine remorse and tries to change. A manipulator either denies the behavior, attacks you for naming it, or continues the pattern, regardless of its impact. What I want you to take away from everything you've heard today is this: you are allowed to trust your own experience. You are allowed to name what you feel. You are allowed to set boundaries without owing anyone an explanation. You are allowed to leave situations that harm you, even if the person causing harm insists they are the victim. You are allowed to be a complex, changing, occasionally inconvenient human being without having to earn your right to love and respect. None of the 9 tricks I've described tonight can work on you forever once you can name them. That is the thing about psychological manipulation. It depends entirely on the victim not seeing it. The moment you can say, "This is a guilt loop. This is intermittent reinforcement. This is gaslighting," the spell breaks. Not immediately. Not without pain. But it breaks. Knowledge is not just power. In the landscape of dark psychology, knowledge is freedom. You are not here to be someone else's emotional resource. You are not here to be managed, controlled, or played. You are here to live a full, authentic, and self-directed life. And the first step toward that life is exactly what you've taken today: choosing to see clearly. Never again will you walk away from a conversation not knowing what just happened to you. Never again will you sit with that quiet, nameless feeling that something was wrong and not be able to identify it. You have names for it now. You have maps. Use them. If this changed the way you see something in your life, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below telling me which of these 9 tricks you've encountered. You're not alone. And now, you're not unprotected. See you in the next one.